morning, but it's almost good afternoon. Hey, let's say will we have today people joining us? This is practically after party, which came after the occupational safety car training. The training was a short one, and there we didn't have time to dive a bit deeper and talk about job market and how to use your certificates. And then the main question: why on earth we don't succeed with our CVs? And I'm planning to show. This is something I usually talk quite much, and still, I think it's relevant information. And this is for you guys who joined the occupational safety card training and needs a bit additional explanation. Idea of the explanation is that people come to safety card trainings. They want to get the certification, and then they will start applying jobs straight away, and then very often they are wondering about the results, that hey, why I don't get the job because my pool is now way bigger. So I want to explain you how sending open applications actually works and what kind of problems you might face. Quite quite simple. I have my coffee here. I managed to open a scribble board where I draw things, and then I'll try to open also a Google Meet here to use the tools from there. So bear with me, and I will open a tab. I ran a bit out of time. I just came from work, and that one disturbed me a bit. But here I have Google tabs. I'll give you guys time to join here. Not too many today, but hey, why not? And hey, I forgot to open a chat. Just a second. Software has changed a bit. Here it is. There's a live stream chat, and I'll write there hi. So hit me with the message that if you are in the chat. But hey, I have this one open here. Then I'll open Google Meet, and we are good to go. I'll check that can I share with you. I haven't done this before, but I thought it might help. And there it is. This is like combination of three softwares. I have no idea will it work. Here, then I'll put the camera off from there. It will be interesting. I have two screen shares here with me, and now I need to find one from here. It actually might work. It's getting a bit smaller, the picture, but let me zoom it bigger. Hopefully this is decent in YouTube. Actually, it's a bit too small, so I'm going to change back. I need to figure out how to do this because I would like to scribble with the pen on top of it. So going to be a bit practice today. But luckily, it's just for us couple of guys. There, I'm gonna share the straight away the software screen for you. There. We need to get it a bit bigger, and then I change the layout like this. And let's see, can I fill the whole screen for you guys? I might be able. Check. Here it's coming. Amazing. This helps us a lot. But hey, we have one online. Hi, nice to have you here. And the rest of you guys will get it as a recorded version. I'm not gonna edit it, but you can check it straight the way it's made if you want. I'll explain the arrows. I'll draw them while, and then you will get a better idea than everything would be here just in front of the screen. But hey, what's the idea of the day? I'll go it through. Through again, we have around half an hour with us, then I need to go back to work. I have also a couple of CVs to review. But hey, the thing was that now I will show you basics, why we might face problems when applying jobs which are available online. The ones you go to the portal, you find it, and you apply. Then you get a quick response that sorry, not at this time, please keep keep applying. So that's a bit wrong approach. There's a digital barrier, and I'll show you how to go around it. And this is for the guys who were on a training. I will send you access to Discord channel. A couple of guys already joined there, and in end of next month we have a live inside of the Discord only, and we have there 2 to 3 guests telling how they got work in Finland and how did they apply. There's a one guy who has been over a year now fully occupied with the job, and then we have a guy who recently, not recently, but a while ago came in Finland. Now he does 3 different jobs. That's how he combined it to be a full day work, and he's working towards getting that full-time work, which would be way easier to manage. And then we have a one guy who is getting ready for work practice, the way that the company would hire them. He would get the salary out of the work, and then same time he would get the study degree in a year. So we have many options. You can totally make it, no worries. It just needs a bit different approach than many other places. And hey, in the chat, you can also ask questions. Please ask questions, and I'm really happy to show. And rest, when we run out of the time, we will continue in Discord. So let's figure out. We are now in a situation. We have passed the occupational safety card exam. We got the certification, and suddenly we have a new world open. We have all the high-risk work environments in our hands. Construction works, industrial work areas, and then all the fields which supports that area. So what do we do? Now we are here. I'll shake it here. You can see it on the screen. Check. We are a job seeker now. Then, of course, we go straight away to job portals. That's where the visible part of the field is. We'll go there, pick a job, send an application, and wait for the results. What happens when we are in that state? Can you guess in which area we are fishing? Surprise, phone call in the middle of the street. I'll send a message that I'll be soon free. I can't take it. Important call, but hey, you guys are also important. So we are in the job portal part, and that's actually the area here. This pyramid describes the situation, which is a job market. 10% of available jobs are online visible for you, and then rest are hiding under the water, which are not visible when we are applying for open positions. So basically, we are applying for a little part of the jobs we have here in Finland. But what else? What else we can't see from this picture? Or we can when we think about it. It's the fact that 90% of the guys and girls are applying for the same works. competition is crazy high. But what happens here under the so-called sea level, where 80 to 90% of the available jobs are hiding? There, very few are applying for the work. So that's actually the area we want to concentrate. So we shouldn't abandon the job portal part. Not at all. In a job portal, we should create profile, pick a field we want to work, and then we'll wait those job announcements to come to our email. And that's it. Then we apply for them. Let's have a quick look about the application process and why it's important. I scroll a bit down. Let's see it here. Here it is. And I'll explain it because this is a ready picture and it needs a bit explanation. So we're in a situation. Before we can apply for a work, here's a company. Company has a work available. They haven't found anybody through their own networks or through their own database. Many companies collect potential workers in their own database through open applications. So here's the work part. It's announced in a job portal and it comes visible for everybody. And here it's automation part. This is the part what sends an email to us. And here we are. We get that email. We send CV and cover letter to company. We would think that it would land right here, that it goes straight away to company. But many big companies, especially recruiting companies, then the ones who has a lot of workers, they call system called ATS, applicant tracking system. And there your CV and cover letter is turned into machine readable format. And machine will analyze it. They will compare it to application the company have online. And then they will give your CV points. It's very common, not exact science, but that's what guys are talking. 75% match with the job application, your CV will travel to table of the HR. And from there, it will go in the company that they will look for potential candidates. But what if we send a generic CV without targeting the job itself? It's just task listed what we have done. Uh, of course, we know we would be a good fit for the job. No question about that. But the machine can't see it. And it gives you a bit less than 75% match. Actually, if you send the pure general CV and the format is not machine readable, it will actually score around 35%. That's the range I have seen. And when it scores really low numbers, you will get this message. Thank you, but no. And that one will come directly to you. And that system you have to beat. How do we beat ATS system? We are not going to dive too deep there today because the limited time. But basically it means that you need machine readable format. Word document is really good. Avoid whatever we have in Canva. Europass, I would avoid that one also. When the machine starts to read, they can't put things together. And especially if it's visually strong, it might struggle a bit. And it creates pure gibberish. I have seen best results with a Word document, Google document, because it's a very clear structure and information can be extracted from it. And then one more tuning we can do to our CV is that we can, for example, uh, we can take our work experience. We can remove all the task-based things we have been listed, and we will actually match the description of the work we did with the job description our company here is looking for. So that's how. we will get to their table. And then why not Europass? It sounds very official, but it's missing all the soft skills, hard skills you can list, and those are really important. ATS system will also give you points for them. How do we use skill set in a CV? We can go again back to that job description the company published online, and then we will find keywords like, is it a teamwork? Do you need to work independently? Do you need to have some specific experience? And then pick those ideas from there, and then you will add them to your CV. Think it from the point of the company. Put yourself on the seat of a company, and and try to think that what kind of person I would hire. And that one will take you way further than just that generic CV. And I can say that the time I worked in a recruiting company, I got a lot of paperwork on my table. And I could go like 100 CVs through in a row, and they all looked around the same. They were visually good, but it was hard to pick what are the skills there, and they would never pass our machine behind the ratings. But yeah, I still found nice guys from the rejected section, but you can't bet or count on that in every company someone would go through rejected CVs. And why is that? A couple of years ago, McDonald's opened in a one-time position. They got over 800 applications. Then last year, small restaurant opened, summer works available. They got over 4,000 applications. So it's not anymore possible to use a human labor to sort everything. And that's one you need to keep in your mind when you're applying for works. But hey, let's go back. What else we can do in Finland? We have one new guy in a in a stream. So very quickly through, we just handled the part of the job portals. We came in a conclusion that we have to automate it, and that's how we reduce our own labor. Why do we want to reduce our own labor? Because we want to have more resources to put the tasks which will bring better results. But let's not ignore the job portals. Then something very similar to job portals, staffing companies. Finland has over 2,500 staffing companies. Of course, not 2,500 individual companies. We have a big companies which has an office in many other cities, and they work like a franchise companies. But generally, it's insanely big amount of the staff leasing companies. Leasing companies concentrates the fields like industrial workplaces, construction, restaurant, transportation, seasonal works. So a lot of variety. And you should go through every local staffing company you have and sign up to their list. Basically, create a CV describing your work experience, prepare a cover letter which tells what kind of tasks you are good at, and then use those companies' website to send your application. And then it will go in their system. You will be in their database. What else we can do with staff leasing companies? So here we had automate. What do we do with the staffing companies? We can network with them because every staffing company has a recruiter or office worker who handles their own clients. Basically, staffing company works the way that they have a huge list of guys in a, okay, microphone volume. Let's see. Let's see if I can. Let's see. Hey, it took a wrong microphone. But hey, I'll come closer to mic. Is this any better? And I'll check my computer settings very quickly. and see can I raise it from here. Now I put it louder from the Windows settings. Damn, I didn't check that. Where is the sound taken? It's actually taken from the webcam and not from here. Here I can hear my voice, and that's how I monitor that everything is going okay. I didn't even realize that. Sorry for that. That was my bad. But hey, tell me if my voice is any louder now, that you can hear me better. I'll wait a second for your feedback, and then I'll continue if the volume is okay. Because if I need to change the microphone source, I need to cut the stream, and then I'm not sure that returning it is that easy. Should be able, but not sure will it work. But now I'm here, closer to the microphone from the windows. I put voice louder. So what I was saying about staffing companies, every staffing companies has a recruiter in it. And basically they handle their own clients. And clients will contact the recruiting company, usually through email, or they even call if they are in a hurry. And they say to staffing company, hey, we have a job position here open. We need this and this many people for some certain amount of the time. And then staffing company will go through their own database and pick the proper right people for the task, calls those people that, hey, can you come to work on this and these days? And then that's how you get a job. Uh, Something to remember about staffing companies, that if you just send your paperwork there, even if you're a good candidate, remember that they get all the time applications, and they need to go through in a system, and you might be buried under the another applications and people. And then only way that they can find you is that they will look for some specific keyword from that database, and then you will pop on the list. So what you should actually do, you sign up there, leave your paperwork maybe for a week, and then contact them and ask that, hey, would you like to have more information about me, or could I even pop very quickly in your office and introduce myself? And then keep that up regularly, like monthly basis would be good, that they don't forget you. And when I work in a recruiting company, many people did that, and I can say that it helped a lot their case, because those were all the time in our mind. And then if something popped out, it was easy to remember that, hey, I just had a guy here who thought that he's ready to start. He can do almost any work we can offer, and let's try him. And that's how many people got work. And then guys who just sent the paperwork, they were buried under. We never heard about from them, and we forget them. So staffing companies needs a bit different approach to bring results. So now we have set two quite passive ways to collect information. Data is the key. Job portals delivers us emails when something comes available. Then staffing companies will contact us if there is something available, and we keep that connection alive. So what do we do now? What's our next task? We can actually contact companies directly, and that one is uh, easily done through directories. There is a one name. I'm gonna shake it here. Actually, it's an email address, not email. It's a website, and there you can look for companies by the area and by the field, and then it will list every company which will fit that search term. And then you will also see their economical status, how well they are doing. And there you just click good candidate open, check do they have a website, go there, and what next? Do we send an email straight away? Maybe not. That's not a good approach. That's again a cold emailing. That's what companies get a lot. They also get cold calls. So it goes a bit in a marketing category, and many people are a bit allergic for it. So what would be a better approach? And this is also what I have done with several guys, and it brought good results. We picked all the companies in one field from the area we were living. And then we went through their websites and we looked at, hey, do they have open application? I'll write it here. Let's see the terms that you can pick it. And the Finnish term is avoin hakemus. That, that's what you should be looking. What does avoin hakemus means? It means that these companies have their own database and system to collect potential workers' information. You fill an application there, it will go in their own system and they can actually see you there. And many companies actually uses ATS to manage that process. So you need to target your email and not email, your application to match the services the company is offering. And then you do that for every company you have searched. And that's why we come back to idea that why do I need to pick a one field, customize the CV in that specific field? Because then your CV will work perfectly to every company on the list. And it's not a generic one we would be sending around. One example from this case, and this is actually a guy who will join in the Discord live with us. He agreed he will come and join with his wife, and he came to course one day, and we started to talk about Finnish job market. This was before I even had an idea that hey, people might want to hear about this topic, and everything started from there. And he said that he has sent 400 applications, and it brought zero results. He was already desperate. He was thinking that he needs to pack and go home because at home he had a good job. And I got an idea, and I was a bit curious that how on earth you can send 400 applications without getting any results. Statistically, that's not possible, but looks like it is. So I went through his paperwork. The CV was quite general. It was a good looking Canva-based, jobs listed, not machine readable, and then the cover letter was just very basic again, and they were full of filler words. There's a thing called a filler word which will mark your papers a bit negatively, especially in a machine reading, and phrases we don't use here. So, and we could say that those papers looked a bit AI done, if we put it nicely. So what we did, we cleaned the CVs. We picked the jobs he were doing and we changed the list of tasks to be actually a job description. We cleaned the paperwork, then we picked in his city one field, and that one was a property service. We went through what kind of services are these companies offering, and we found out that his work experience matched perfectly with the services. Like he has been doing cleaning work in hotels, he has taken care of the public areas, outside areas, handled the reception, and all the things what they have in a property service. And then we went through local companies, what are they offering? And then we matched the job description with the service point work, stairway cleaning, taking care of the outside areas. And then we put a little hook for the company. We mentioned there that, hey, we have just a bit experience from property maintenance. That was the earliest job experience he had. And we put a hook there that, hey, if you have opportunities available on this area, we would be really happy to learn and come help professional guys. Because why did we put that hook? Because very often companies are in a situation that a couple of guys are sick. They have a professional guy who can do the work, but they need a bit help. So we offered them a solution for the case if there comes an opportunity. And most likely the recruiter who is reading it or the office worker will recognize the situation, and that one makes it to stand out. So we send paperwork to every company in that field. Guess how long it took that he got to work? He got to work in 2 weeks, and he has been working over a year now in a one company. So just trying to emphasize how important it is to put that effort and customize it. It might feel a lot of work, but when it's done. And that's why you pick a one field and go with it. No need to shoot 1,000 companies at once. Pick 10, pick 15, do it well, and then move to the next one. So that was how to use directories. And again, if you want to know how exactly to use directories, let me know. I'll run a one day with directories. That applies to any topic you are interested. I can run a separate feed for you, and I'm really happy to show. Like said in the course, in the emails, I this is my way to network. It doesn't cost anything. I'm not gonna ask money for it. Happy to share and happy to spend time online. So, what if job market is getting a bit tough? Companies are a bit careful with hiring guys. We have services called billing services in Finland. What is a billing service? It's actually a way that you can bill private people, companies, whomever you want. Company doesn't have to be even in Finland. You're billing. I bill a lot to foreign companies around the world. And this is the way that you make an agreement with company that, hey, I'm gonna do some certain tasks for you, and then I will send you a bill after the work, and you don't have to hire me on a payroll. What happens when we use bill services? Companies will have way less paperwork. And by the way, that's the reason why staff leasing companies are so popular. Just right here. It makes companies' life easier. So, billing services in Finland. How does it work? Let's assume you found a client, you did the work. It's time to bill. You have signed up for the billing service, and there you will create the bill itself. And that service company will send it to your client, and client will pay the billing service company's account. Straight away, when the money arrives to billing service, they automatically take taxes away from it, pay the taxes, then they will take your personal taxes away from the money, and then they will pay the money as a salary in your bank account, and that's money to keep. How does billing services make a living? They take small cut between. There are different options. There is a set set sum, which is for example 10 to 20 euros per bill. That's a really good for big bills, like a couple of thousand euros. It makes the percentage very small. Or you can pick a service which will take a percent like 2 to 4% from the sum and pays you rest. And that's how they make a living. There are companies which will ask easily 7 8%, but there are cheaper ones and they all have same services. So I would stay somewhere around 3%. That's the level which will guarantee you a good service level. And customer service you can actually talk with. I have tried almost not every billing service company in Finland, but at least 10 of them. So it's a different world. And what's the part with the billing service? You can sign up there, but you don't have any obligations to pay them anything, to actually bill through them. You have an account there, and when the money comes, they will handle it. So that's why it's a really good way. And how can we combine? Because it's all about efficiency. That's the point of the day. How to save our resources by automation, networking. Here comes the beauty. When you are going through directories and you have sent that open application, you have later sent an email that, hey, did you see my application? What do you think about it? Very often they say that, hey, yeah, looks good, but sorry, not at this time. We are not hiring anybody, and thanks anyway for applying. So that's no. But good news is that the first no is not the final no. Then you can come back to them and say that, hey, sorry to hear that you don't have work at the moment available, but thank you for looking for my application. And then again, throw a hook there. You can say them that, hey, if you have something small available, you don't want to have people on your payroll, I can bill you through billing service. Like, let's just make an agreement for an hour salary or salary by the task, and then every week or every 2 weeks, I would send a bill for you, and it would be very simple for you. And then what happens? Company don't have paperwork. They are not responsible for sick holidays, occupational health care. It makes them really easy. So this sounded really bad. We don't have healthcare, we don't have safety, we don't have anything for the sick holidays. But then again, it's your approach. What happens when we strip those benefits away? It doesn't mean that we get a small salary with really small benefits. Not the case. Then you need to price those things in your hour salary. So you actually get to keep the money. Usually, companies are really happy to make an agreement 30 to 40 euros an hour. That's a really good salary already. And some companies might ask a bit less, but you can say them that, hey, hire me for 28 for a week. And then let's see, how do you like my services? And then you can negotiate a bit upper. Because let's assume that if company uses staff leasing company and they hire a guy, they are paying 15 euros an hour. That actually costs for staffing company around 30 euros plus VAT an hour. See what we did? We are our own staff leasing company and we get to keep all the benefits. And then when we get that salary, we should put aside the money we kind of counted for sick holidays and occupational healthcare services. That's our backup, not to burn all the money. Like my best salary by an hour doing very basic work from a building service was 45 euros an hour doing snow works on a construction site because somebody had to come clean clean the area that the guys to do the foundations could come, and I said that, hey, I'll come. Here's my hour salary, and they took it. They were more than happy to pay for it. It was kind of cheap for them. If they would have hired the company, expenses would have been way higher. And and one more bonus for you guys. What happens between here? I'm trying to change a bit scroll the screen. There. When we do this, we do the best thing we can do when it comes to job market. That's generally finding leads. We network. We get directly contacted with companies. When we are polite, we can create those relationships. It might not feel a big thing at once, but what about when you have gone through directories, you have uh, sent paperwork for them, you have offered billing services, you have had a discussion with the guys who makes the decisions, and it didn't bring results. But what about one day you will see a moment that, hey, this company is looking for a worker. I know this company. Then you know exactly whom to contact, the persons who make the decisions. And then you just send them a polite email that, hey, by the way, I noticed your job application online and and I'm still available. Would you like that I come and give a visit in your office? And then you can mention that, hey, we have already talked about, you have my paperwork, but hey, here's a new paperwork for you. And that's how you get it rolling. And how do we keep all of this in our memory. It's not easy. Time goes, we forget things. Then we always keep an Excel with us. We write there the companies we have contacted, what's the situation, we mark the person's name there, and that's how we can keep our network alive. And that's actually the Finnish job market in a nutshell, what we can do. Hey, if you have anything in your mind, I actually went over time, but if you have a question, I can have a one answer, and then I need to check that did I send a Discord link for the guys from the course that we can continue this on a Discord server. And like said, in month, end of the next month, there will be a happening that we have a couple of guys to tell how they made it here. We have three guys online. We have Brain and Apex. Do we have any questions? If no questions, I know this one comes with a small delay. If it appears, I'll answer to it. But basically, we can wrap it up and continue later. And if there's an interest, just hit the message in the chat and I'll pick a new topic there. Next week, I have actually quite free. I have agreed work gigs, which will take only a half day. So I have a half day free and I could dedicate time to spend with you guys. But hey, if no questions, big thanks for joining. I didn't have to talk alone here. It was a recording for the guys, and really good pick that my mic was. Hey, can you have a Discord link? Oh yeah, you can. Just a second. I'll hit it on the screen. I'll hit it on the screen. I think I didn't add in the email, and if somebody who is watching and wasn't in occupational safety training, yeah, you can join. It's enough that you are interested about working in Finland. But now I need to find the invitation. There we have a link, and here. And that's actually the place you can find me. Many people have my phone number, email address. Email is quite good. There I can put a star on the important messages I need to come back. But my WhatsApp is a big mess. That one I can say. I get a lot of messages there. And I answer to a couple of messages and then they all disappears in a history. But hey, wrapping it up and thank you and hopefully we will meet again later.